Oh, g'day champions. I think we're live now. Sorry I'm late. Well, late in two ways. I didn't stream this morning at 6 AM and I was supposed to start streaming this stream about 8 minutes ago, but I got the sudden urge for a cup of tea and a banana. So had to take care of the cravings. Anywho, I wasn't really feeling work today. I've pretty much done no work. I've just done a bit of paperwork and dealt with some customers since 9 AM. Feel like I've done nothing. It's an uninspired stream. I just thought I'd roll a camera to maybe keep me stuck at the bench for a little bit. So anyway, first one, Genelec. That's active monitor 1029A. We don't just do valve amps here. And this one's possible lightning damage, so hopefully we can see some carnage inside, but also hopefully it's recoverable. But be interesting to just have a look in this thing anyway. Might do some videos alongside the live stream, so if I start introducing myself again, it's because I'm recording on this camera. It's not just me going insane. That happened some time ago. This bloody lens cover's dirty. G'day champions, we've got a Genelec monitor here. It's a 1029A, and the customer reported that it hasn't worked since a lightning storm, so we might have some carnage inside to look at. We'll just see what's involved and whether it's recoverable. So is anyone here? It was short notice. Oh, I got 10 viewers, that's nice. That's about 10 more than I used to get. Need a torque screw here. How's it sound, alright? Can you hear everything? Hey Dad. G'day Alan. G'day Matthew. Feel a bit alien-like today. I feel like I shouldn't even be at work. It's just working 7 days stuff is starting to mess with my brain. Starting to feel a little bit less human. But we've got to pay bills, don't we? Oh, that screw's really deep. Is that a screw? That's an Allen screw. It's like that's on the... Whoa. That's on the back end of the driver. Interesting. Do you want to know the build year of that black cat? I assume you mean bad cat with the electrolytic cap that puked its guts. It's probably stamped on it somewhere, but I haven't noted it, no. Why, have you got one, Travis? Don't panic, it's just a cap. Oh, it's coming. Okay, so that bolt holds onto the transformer. That's curious. Holds onto the transformer, then puts pressure against the tweeter, which is only a BOFA. So you're paying a lot of money for these things. They are very expensive. Cast aluminium box. Okay, let's get rid of some of this fiberglass. It says blowing fuses. There's no externally... Oh yeah. No externally accessible fuse. And when I undid those bolts, you heard the tick. So the fasteners have probably never been undone. Oh, there's another fuse. Oh yeah, that's the mains fuse and that's exploded. Already getting fiberglass everywhere. Video time. I think I need to rearrange something here. Alright, so using a Torx bit, remove the back. There was 2 extra bolts, one there and one there. They apply pressure to the rear of the woofer there, and then you've got a bolt that goes through the toroidal mains transformer and then puts pressure on the back of the tweeter, which is just a BOFA unit there. You can see in there the mark left by the screw, putting pressure on the back of that D19AD. So most of the money in these things is in the cast. Like, that's a cast aluminium box and rear heatsink unit. So I think part of the reason they have to charge so much for these is the design of the box, because it's a way to get it very stiff and no real resonance. It looks swanky, it's tough as nails. You won't delaminate any veneer or anything like that from copy and knock. You just take a bit of paint off. They're really good for like traveling monitors, ones that you're going to have on the road. Pop them in a box, or ones like this you could even fit in your backpack. So yeah, they are pretty cool drivers, but they're not cheap. Nathan, you're working on a bad cat too. Cool. Just try to get a baseline for when a cat like that hits the end of its life. Well, it hit the end of its life when it was made because they're shit quality. That's all. We're still on the overhead view. Yeah, you will be. This is the live camera. This is the recording camera. I'm recording this to do an edited version later. And what you're getting now is the pure uncut Colombian Bam Bam. So let's disconnect well, no, we can leave the transformer attached. Disconnect everything that goes to the box, the drivers, the LED, front switch. This is awkward. Oh, I'm bending the connector the wrong way. So that one, these ones you push and they let go. That one you pull and it lets go. So yeah, no wonder it wasn't letting go. Dumbass! You don't normally see two different types of connectors right next to each other. So what's the other driver in this thing? We've got a V for D19, which is very... Oh, wow. The speaker's... Oh, okay. So there's no bolt for the speaker. The speaker's held in by that bolt pushing on there. Wow, okay. So there's no screws for fixing that speaker to the front at all. And that is a BOFA TC14SG06, 8 ohm. So that's your 2 drivers, nothing special. BOFA's not a bad driver, but it's not, you know, it's not the Gucci of drivers by any means. They're good functional drivers. No bullshit, but they're not scan speaks or anything fancy. So Genelec don't make their own drivers, so it looks like. I don't know much about Genelec. I only look stuff up when I have to fix it, right? I'm not a massive gear nerd. Alright, so we've got an exploded fuse there. Okay, this isn't working for me. Alright, so we've got an exploded mains fuse there. There are 2 other fuses there. I'm assuming the low voltage supply rails, because this would be the bipolar AC coming from the, well, center tapped AC coming from the transformer going to the bipolar DC supply. And they appear okay. I'll test them shortly, but that one's definitely vaporized. You can see all the black stuff inside. Normally that's clear between those stripes. Gonna fall over forwards? Yeah, probably. There we go. See how fiddly it is making videos? And people are like, oh, you didn't go into enough detail on this. It's like, you make a video then, cockhead. Alright, so we've got a section. Again, this should be video. I'm not feeling it today. Nothing's working or particularly inspiring, so I'm just going to go for it. What is that, a T10? T10 it is. That's ability to attract lightning. I don't think it works like that, mate. Joe B, yeah, that just looks like, it looks like it's got a backing on it that's like fibrous, but it looks like just standard glass wool. Doesn't look like rock wool. Heat press out for telly neck. Oof. What, it's that badly bowed? Sometimes bringing a guitar back from the dead is more trouble than it's worth. Some retention spring here, putting pressure on the, I'm itchy from fiberglass, putting pressure on the, oh, there it goes, on the semiconductors. Alright, we're going to have to take this transformer off. It's a weird arrangement. I have to take this transformer off in order to remove the circuit board. And again, we've got two different types of connectors just to mess with my brain. This buddy adjusted the truss nut, maxed and stripped. Ooh. Right, which style truss rod is it, Alan? Genelec is probably just a zombie brand now, but once upon a time they were a British division of General Electric, Genelec, yeah, and made fantastic quality tubes, especially KT66, 77 and 88 gold line. Wow, okay. There's the history I was looking for. Alright, it's preventing us, we've got, that was the retention spring. We've got, what am I trying to say? Connectors. We've got connectors to undo. I've got the feeling that they probably just replace the whole rear module when something goes wrong. Never know though. We've got some big ass connectors for the mains. IEC plug, walnut plug type. I've got one. I've got one if I can press it back and heat the plug. What are you gonna heat the neck to remove? Is it a skunk stripe? Sometimes you can machine deeper on them. There's a tool that StewMac make that you can sort of excavate around there and get a couple more threads to use. We've got an earth connection. Oh, LM3886s. That's our friend. I've got some of them in stock. I think they're obsolete now. That's a problem with monolithic type ICs. They go obsolete all the time and then you're fucked. I order stuff in like 25s when I need to though. I didn't know what to stock when I started out, so I figured, well, I'll just, if I need something, chances are I'll probably need it again, so I'll just get 10 instead of 1. I'll press it back and then cut the extra threads. Yeah. Oh, I think someone's here, even though it's supposed to be closed. Yep. Alright, so no obvious shit stains on the circuit board. My camera works really shit today, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling inspired. So I guess one thing to do would be check the transformer, plug it in, see if it blows a fuse. One moment, champions. tell you what. Rightio, so where are we? Anyone still here? Everyone's gone away. Yeah, with some customers. Makes me look forward to rewiring a Strat under the Sorry, you're messing with my head here. Makes me look forward to rewiring a Strat the another buddy fixed for a guy. Yeah, when you've got people whose mates have wired stuff, it seems to be the most common horror show that you get. Everyone thinks they can wire up a guitar, and it's actually a little bit skilled, believe it or not. Joe B, most speakers are stuffed with polyester fibre fill available at a fabric store and used for stuffing pillows. No sense in using itchy fiberglass. Yeah, the problem with that, Gooden, is the shit you find in cushions is a low density. You are referring to Dacron. That is the proprietary name for the stuff, and you can get different densities of Dacron, and the one they use in speakers is something like 750 gram per cube or something. I can't remember. I gut them and start over. Yeah, that's the best way forwards most of the time, mate. Alright, I'm going to turn the stereo off. I'm going to lock the shop. What is it? It's 1 o'clock. I think I fucked up and listed myself on Google as open till 2. I don't know why I did that. It's pretty good having a lapel mic because I can walk around, you can still hear me, and you can't hear the background music. But when I do a recording with the camera, it's microphone sensitive and picks up the background music. Alright, so let's do a pretty little presentation. I'll take the camera out of its tripod. This tripod's cool. It was made for a portable projector. You can get these pissy little projectors that project on a wall if you're at a hotel or something. And the brand is Nebula. And that's what we used to nickname people in high school. You'd call them a nebula when they were a space head. Yeah, whatever, nebula. Nebulizer. Anyway, so that's pretty cool because it's extendable. It's perfect for the bench, so I can get the, looking down into an amp shots with the shallow depth of field to draw your focus to a particular component that's shit the bed or whatever. Problem area. Come on, wake up, camera. Okay, my white balance is pissing me off. It's on auto and it keeps shifting because you've got the grey background. You focus on the yellow fibre wall and all the background goes blue. And then you focus on the green board and the background goes like purple. And then you focus on the grey and it goes like it should. So I'm going to lock the white balance. What do we want? No, that's blue and terrible. Ugh. I'm going to set it to sunny. Sunny! That looks the best. Yeah. I hope Six isn't watching this. He'll have his white balance card out and calibrating his monitor and shit for those 3 videos a year that he makes. Alright, so down inside here, our 2 BOFA speakers. The woofer is only held in by that rear bolt. So that's interesting. It's got tabs there but no screw holes. And they're just pushed up against the front of the casting there in the hole. And that is a BOFA TC14SG06 and that's an 8 ohm. BOFA are a great brand of speakers. Very affordable, but very good. Not that Genelecs are affordable, but someone's got to pay for the foundry that makes these friggin' boxes. So at the end of the day, the only active circuitry is this transformer and this tiny little board. And that is pretty basic. If we can't fix that, we better go get a job at Macca's. LM3886, two of them, in a one for the woofer, one for the tweeter. It'd be an active crossover, but it looks like there is no processing. It looks like it's all purely analog electronics. So that's refreshing. No Class D stuff. Problem is, I think these things are obsolete now. Now I've got a few sources of them and I've got several in stock. But in the future, if that proves to be the failure of your unit, you might have trouble finding one from a reputable source. There's, of course, all the places like Amazon, whatever, will sell you these till the cows come home, but they're just blocks of plastic with stuff printed on them, or another chip inside that chip that just blows up because it's rated at like half the rail voltage, or it's just fakes. Yeah. So you should only buy that stuff from reputable places. When I say reputable places, I mean the mouses, the DigiKeys, the Wes components, the Element 14s, you know, whatever it's called in your country. What was I saying? Alright, let's plug the primary of that in. And nothing else. See what happens. Obviously we've got to replace that fuse, don't we? T1A. That is something I should have in stock. I'll tangle, I'll tangle you. Right, so far I've done all this without a schematic. Now we know what's inside a pair of Genelecs. Might buy something else? Question mark? Oh, I don't know. Does the job, mate. It's very simple, yeah. That's what we want. Simple, easily repairable. There's no need to even change this module, really. It's so simple, you should be able to repair it on a component level indefinitely, as long as you can get those chips. So that's the thing. That's the weak spot. That's the Achilles heel. Speaking of bad technicians, oh god, don't mention other channels on this channel, please. I don't want to know. Oh, okay, you're not putting shit on Uncle Doug. Alright. Speaking of bad technicians, Uncle Doug's latest video is a super reverb that was badly messed up by another wannabe tech. And Lyle has an Ampeg reverb rocket that got screwed up by a bad tech. Man, at any given time, 75% of the jobs here have been fucked with by another tech. I've got like 3 lined up for videos. One of them is a super reverb. It's something about, I don't know, silver-faced fenders. They just don't earn any respect. But as we've seen with the bad monkey saga, which I just got alerted to this morning by my Canadian friend, who likes prodding me with the internet stick from time to time to see if I buy it. Things that aren't valuable now will be valuable in the future. So respect your silver-faced twins and your silver-faced supers and reverbs, because they're going to be worth a lot of money one day. Sorry, I'm just walking out to have a look around. Should I lock the shop? Let's have a poll. Should I lock the shop 45 minutes early because I don't want to talk to anyone and I'm not in a sociable mood? What do you guys think of the PV6505 mini head? It is a head. It is an amplifier. Never seen one. Can't tell you. Just had a 6505 Plus. Customer just picked up and he was happy with that. Literally an hour ago. In almost 50 years working with audio EQ, the only Genelecs speakers I ever saw or some. Oh my god, can you write a bit more concisely? I can't read what you're fucking writing. Let's read it how it's written. I love you, couldn't, but Jesus. In almost 50 years working with audio EQ equipment, the only Genelecs speakers I ever saw or some very early hold of Van Nyme dumb tweeters that fold gold spray finish and alcohol maggot sit almost. What? Fuck, I need a whiskey after reading that. The real question is, are they real techs or just backyard hacks or owners that claim their stuff was serviced by a tech? Yeah, I think that happens quite a lot. people get cheap and think, well, it's not difficult, Brad's a dickhead, anyone can do what he does, so I'll do it myself. And then they destroy their amp, bring it in, and then have to pay about 6 times what they would have if they just got me to do it normally, because it takes so much time to undo all the work, or you've got to replace boards, or they've blown up a transformer, or, you know. But there are a lot of hack techs, and I know that for a fact, because I've seen, you see, you know, you see shit every day, you start to recognise common themes, like signatures of their work. Like one that got posted on one of my groups today, I know who, I'm pretty sure I know who did that, and this is in another country. There's this fucking imbecile on one of the groups on Facebook. He claims to be a certified tech, not saying what company. He doesn't know which way a fucking diode goes. He doesn't know the difference between DC and AC. He doesn't know about impedances. There's got to be something going on there, because he cannot be that dumb and still know which hole to put the food in. And then he started messaging me directly, wanting me to hold his hand on every repair, because obviously he's telling people he's a tech, and then he's screwing people over, and then he wants us to get him out of it. So I blocked him. Imbecile. Anyway, let's get back onto this one. So let's check from a rail to rail short and a rail to ground short. Let's look for that. Let's just check, see if we've got any shorted diodes too. Could be a shorted bridge. Wake up. What? What's going on with this meter? Here we go. My leads have been playing up. I switched to these leads. I'm not a big fan of them. Alright, so the bridge isn't short. Let's, alright, so we've got our earth there. Where's the chassis ground connection? Alright, is that just cap charging by the meter? Yes, it is. You can see the meter go up there. It's rising. 45 and rising. So that's just the caps charging. So we don't have a rail to ground short. We don't have a rail to rail short. Okay, so hold it, wait, it'll stop beeping, there you go. So a lot of techs I've seen will touch that. 627 ohms seems low. They will touch the meter like this. The meter's registering a negative voltage and then it rises, but they'll touch it, hear the beep, they'll take their leads away and treat that as a confirmed short, whereas that's not the case. You've got to hold it there until the cap's charged beyond the multimeters voltage, or to the multimeters voltage, indicating it's essentially open circuit. Alright, so just check the resistances on the transformer. Time to splash out on some cheap JCar leads, Brad. Yeah. These ones weren't cheap. These are Muller brand, M-U-E-L-L-E-R. I think they were like 40 bucks. But they're shit. They're cheap feeling. And then what do? You get Pomonas that are like $300 for pair of probes, and they probably fucking die too. I'm sick of buying them, man. So the best ones I've found in terms of just how they feel, and they're cheap too, are the ones TL62s from Wes Components, but they always break, and they break right where the lead exits the probe. They literally, you've got a set of these, you just throw them in the bin every time. They last about 6 months and they're fucked. But the leads are good. See, they're silicon, they don't have any memory, so they just sag down nicely like that. These fucking things, they like twist and jag and get tangled, and they try to stay in the shape. I've sat them in the sun to try and get them as straight as I could, and that's about as straight as they get. But just listen to the plastic's just that stiff PVC, feels like the shit they use for kids' toys. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of them, but I'll keep buying these, and they just keep breaking in there. You can literally pull it and see it flex, and you're like, ah, that's why the measurements haven't been making sense for the last minute, because you've got a broken lead. And the last thing you want to be second guessing is your equipment, your test equipment. Your test equipment, you should trust. You're married to it. It should be like your spouse. You should trust it with your life. not be second guessing it. I'm talking shit. What am I doing? .4 ohms either side. I don't know what these colours mean. Let's go with 240 volt. Alright, that'll be your active. Nope, they've fused the neutral. You nuffies. They've fused the neutral and switched the active in a metal box. How is that legal? What happens if a switch melts and goes to ground? The fuse wouldn't stop anything. You'd have to have an earth leakage detector. If you didn't have that, your house burns down. That's fun. Call me alarmist. Just don't call me late for dinner. Alright, so that one there, the red, is it? No, the grey, and there's two greys. One of the greys is the neutral. Got all your other voltages. 0.2. No connection. Probably because there's no wire in there. No connection. Alright, so you got different. You got it's not tapped. It's 3.1K. There should be no connection in there giving us 3.1K. So that's a worry. Okay. 25 ohm. I think we've got a shorted primary on this. Shouldn't be reading 3.1K on anything. It should either be completely isolated or like in the order of an ohm or two, or like 20 ohms or something. Well, that's not good. Let's put a fuse in and plug it in, and we'll see what happens with nothing attached to the secondary. We'll bring it up slowly on the Variac, even though Dad will make fun of me. Let's give it a 5 amp fuse, eh? No, that'd be silly. Variac boy. Hi Brad, how's it cooking on the EMU planes? Good to see you work on pro audio gear. Yeah, I've got heaps coming up, Bart. Some hi-fi stuff as well. Yeah, we go in sort of like waves here. It's about 30, why am I looking at my watch for the temperature? How's it cooking? It's about 34 degrees here today and sunny. It makes me wonder why I'm in here. I should be out there riding my push bike in the sun and enjoying life. But I've got people all over me to get their jobs finished and returned. So that is leading to a lot of stress. So here I am trying to get on top of it. Brad used the voice to text, which translated very poorly, and then went to edit it and fix. I accidentally hit the post button. Yeah, it is hard to do it on a smartphone, eh? I hate smartphones. Good old dad, that's what fuses are for. That's what he says. Alright, so we're plugged in. There's the secondary, disconnected. We've got nothing connected to ground either, so let's not touch it. Because we could have a shorted primary there. We're only going probably to 20 volts to see what it does anyway. Just watch the current draw while we're doing that. Now this is easy because it's a, what am I trying to say? Not passive. It's a linear power supply, so we can give it the variac. You can't really do that with a switch mode because they don't switch on until they detect a certain level of AC, generally. So yeah, that's why a lot of people fall over when it comes to diagnosing any piece of equipment with a switch mode power supply, because you can't power it on long enough to see what's wrong. What went wrong? I know that guy, makes good dumplings. Right, power, inrush to the variac. We're raising the voltage. Oh, you know what's no, it's not going to happen, is it? Because we don't have the switch in circuit. So where's the switch? There it is. Speaker's trying to fall out. The switch is encased in there. And that is the 2-prong connector, so we can just short that out. And that is, let's just unplug it to be safe. That is that one there. Yes, 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 yes. Let's just move this over. Get rid of the fiberglass. It's putting little fibers everywhere and giving me the shits. Let's just plug that in. Go again. And we switched on. No, there we are. Alright, slowly raising the voltage. 6 watts, 5 watts. Why'd it go up and then down? Alright, so we turned it up, got to about 60 volts, and it was sitting at 5 watts, and then it went to like 100 watts at like 70 volts. So we've got a fuck transformer. Yay! What's one of them worth? So that could well mean that the rest of the circuit's okay. Generally, if you've got lightning damage, shit's got the snot blown out of it, but in this case it doesn't. However, I kind of want to give it some bipolar voltage from the bench supply, and see if we can get it to chooch. Maybe I'll just power it with AC from another transformer. What voltage are we dealing with here? See you, Gooden. Thanks for joining us, mate. It was a bit of a pretty half-assed stream. Sorry. Anyway, that's boring. I'll look for the part later. And should we test it now? Try and get it to do something? What's involved in that? Give it DC. That's the speaker and the LED. That's the volume control. That needs to be plugged in. I just got nappy rash cream all over me. Oh, I was about to go for a bike ride. I'll just use that as zinc. It's not advisable. Yeah, no, that's a transformer, Matthew. Yeah, she's chooch the last. So that 3 point whatever K, that's the flash over through the insulation. Oh, you enjoyed the pedal video? Cool, Alan. That was just a warm-up. I did that one before the Bad Cat one, but I edited the Bad Cat one first because I felt more excited about it. You've got to be like in the mood to edit and stuff. You can't force it, eh? Otherwise you just sit there getting the shits at yourself. So you've got to wait until you're feeling it and then bang, quick edit shit before you get bored. So I was in the mood for a Bad Cat video and I did the pedal one just as a warm-up because I haven't done an edited video in so long. What can we power this with? I don't know what voltage we're expecting to see. I've got a transformer there I just use for universal stuff. Maybe I can use that. What else have I got? What's that one? This one's 100 watt. Plus minus. Oh, that's only plus minus 15. It's probably not enough. It's a nice transformer though. Triad. I bought this to build a FET matcher, well, a FET tester, which pulses FETs at high current to match them up before they heat up. Sort of like a curve tracer. It's like a ghetto curve tracer, I guess. But yeah, it's one of those when I get around to it projects. Got quite a few of them, as you may guess. The old round to it file. Got this one which could work. Big bloody pancake thing. Oh, if it's got a short, we can just pump it with this and you'll find the short because it will be the first place to catch fire. Oh, I've even written the voltages for myself. Geez, I'm past Brady's good. 35 center tap. Oh, 70 center tap. And 0 to 18. Yeah, you did cringe a bit when I broke into rockabilly delay. I can't help it when it's that particular delay time and I've got a clean signal. It's rockabilly time. Don't you know that when you hit 35, if you're a man, you get into smoking meat, and if you're a woman, you get into rockabilly. It's the law, at least in this country. Yeah. All right, so the feet are falling off the speaker. Yay. Thing to fix. Should we just shove this in the variac? Probably not. Let's do the right thing, be safe and stuff. Can I shut the shop yet? No, half an hour to go. Started trading on Saturdays. I always sort of traded on Saturdays 6, but I stopped it for a while because I was too busy. I shouldn't even be here. I should be at home doing work, but I'm supposed to be in 3 places at once. I had to come down for a customer to pick up his amp because he's from out of town. 3 amp. Let's put a fused IE. Let's get fancy. Let's put a fused IEC. Actually, I've got a feeling I've already got a transformer that could do this. Where'd I put that? One in a box. Just bear with me, legends. I've got to go sifting through the memory. Rockabilly Brad is cringy. Metal Brad though, that's some good shit. Really? Yeah, I'll do everything, man. I'm more metal than rockabilly. 80s thrash. 80s thrash. It's like Cash and Kim. Kath and Kim. Oh my god, that's like thrash metal. I should tell someone that I play thrash metal. Alright, this is the bit where you hear me digging around in my drawers. Oh, there it is. I can see it already. Yeah. Now, I made this years ago for something and I can't remember what. Just had a random transformer floating around. It's fused and everything, look at that. Random voltage outlets. And a ground connection. So that looks pretty similar to the other transformer. You've got just a non-center tap and then center tap there. So let's see what voltage that kicks out at 240. I'll just put whatever fuse in. Oh, we've got a glowy light, that's promising. No smoke, that's nice. So that's 240 volts going in. What have we got coming out? $19, so plus minus 19 and 12. It's pretty handy voltages. I don't know that that's enough for this unit, but I expected to be expecting like 40-ish or something. Let's see if I can find a schematic. Brad sounds like a good player. I dig the metal in the rockabilly. 80s, the decade that good taste forgot. 7 days a week for us in the new shop, including 9 PM closes on Thursday to Saturday. Fuck yeah. But you're super excited and stoked now, Dr. Gear, so it doesn't matter doing long hours because when you're excited about something, you can do all the hours in the world. Real menu strats. Ducks, yeah, fucking oath. Strats all the way, bro. Last times I've seen him rock out, it's been on singly coils. Well, not really. So this here is a Shawbucker. That's my strat. I kind of love it now, even though I hated it. That's my strat. I've got another strat coming though, don't I, Six? There's another strat coming and she is all singly coils. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have it at home. I want a strat at home that never comes to work. Because I used to have that at home, but I use it so much at work that needs to kind of live here. Legit, last night when we were there cleaning, I was getting people every couple of minutes stopping to check the shop and get fucking pumped. Yeah, boy. It's exciting. Ah, you're in such a good spot too. I'm fucking jealous as. But then I remember that I hate retail and I hate people. So, so what I really should do is get a little hole in the wall somewhere and go back to operating through stores, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. No one really does. They're just lying if they say they do. So let's see if we can get some signs of life out of this thing by using this little tutor. Put it through the variac again. Straight in to the transformer connector. And we'll give it some signal and see if we get anything. If it doesn't overcurrent, happy days. But if we get signal, happy days too. But that means that we still have to get a transformer. There is something trapped within this casting somewhere. Hear it rattling. Washer? Maybe it's just that clip. Yeah. Anyway, input 2 / sub out. What? How can it be both? Input 1, input 2. Oh, fiberglass. Just put a piezo bridge in my Les Paul just for kicks. Yeah, modify that Les Paul. Drill holes and shit in it. What was that, 8:30 p.m. Well, if they're stopping to look at your store in that area, Newtown, no, Enmore, Newtown. If they're stopping to look at your shop and they're not pissing on your front door, that's genuine interest. Right, back to packing the shop. Catch you guys later. Yeah, get back to work. After 16 years in Sydney, I had enough. Best thing we ever did was get the fuck out. Yeah. I kind of can't go anywhere though. I've really screwed myself. I can't move to the country because there's no work. Not in this field. I'd have to get another job and give it all away. So I'm kind of locked to city centres, unfortunately, reasonably populous ones. That sucks. And not enough money for a holiday home. That's for sure. Not enough money for an actual home. What I might do, can't really get the clips on there without touching each other. So what I might do is connect it to the fuse. Bang. Where are my other alligator clips? Ah, there they are. The sheath type. Yeah, can't use them. This is the bit that frustrates me. You've got all the leads in the world and you can't get a job done. Sydney's a great little town if you compare it to LA. I don't know how you guys live with the population over there. It would do my head in. 300 million people, that is all kinds of messed up. Alright, that's my janky setup. Jank factor infinity. I'm hoarding all the leads, but I still don't have enough. That's why you need a shit ton of leads. Made it back to Far North Queensland, Tablelands, and haven't looked back, but I'm still waiting on container number 3 to be delivered. Wow, has all my tools, and then I think I will feel better. Well, of course you will. I was in Townsville last weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We need all of the jank. That's right. Alright, let's blow this thing up, eh? Signal. Set it to line level-ish, 1K, because I know you guys love 1K. I'll go for 400 Hertz. 400 Hertz, so good. Sine wave going in. Right, just double checking everything. So that goes to ground. It's the rightmost pin, and then we've got bipolar supply coming off there, coming out of the variac, set to 0 volts. Turn that on. Oh, helps if you plug it in. Turn that on. Bring her up slowly. Just check the voltages as we go. Six 6.4. Keep going. We've got signal. Oh. And it cuts out. So what's that all about? Other issues. It was just cycling because it wasn't getting the right amount of power. So I think the amplifier unit itself is okay. It's not drawing excessive current and it's producing signal. So we've just confirmed that probably all that's wrong with this thing is that transformer. She is proper fucked. So out she goes. I'll contact whoever the hell distributes Genelec, see if we can get the original item. If not, might have to find out what voltages it is. I can't speak. And then I'll probably have to get another connector and crimp a new one on. I don't want to splice that connector on because it looks shit. It's functionally fine, but a new connector's worth not much, and I've got a crimp gun, so we may as well do it properly if we had to get one that's not already sorted. Cables. That's a handy little box. Little AC supply. I can't remember what the currents are. It's probably printed on the side of the transformer in there. I remember knocking that up for a specific job back in the garage years ago. But yeah, it's handy for this kind of stuff. Let's have a bit of a clean up here. I went to make a cup of tea and I got no milk. I was snooking myself again. Maybe that's why I'm in a bad mood. Alright. I might just do nothing more to this. I'll just pop that back in there. Let's put it back in its position. Put all the fasteners in a bag, and 10 minutes to close. No one's here anyway. Go for a ride. That's pretty work. No lock washer on the screw. Drink what? Your drinking game idea. Whenever Brad calls us champions, we have to eat a Wheat Bix. You win the most random comment of the day. Your prize is getting called a champion, you champion. Joy buzzer. This is awkward. It's got to be an easier way. Your mum's got a joy buzzer. So I've got a magnetic screwdriver. So how come it's not holding on onto the thing, the stuff? Oh, I've got an idea. Get my tweezers with the elbow in them. Hold that there. Get it started. This is the output chip retaining clip. Get it beyond it, put it back under it, and then tighten it. Hey, stop and think, and things will work. I'll just leave that like that. Transformer can go up in its bloody perch. I'll leave that out because I want to get the numbers off it. Put the itchy fiberglass back in. Ugh. Ugh. Let's put the bag of screws back in. Inquire pricing. Send emails. Have emails ignored. Send more emails. Have more emails ignored. Ring. Sit on hold for 15 minutes. Get a receptionist that doesn't know what I'm talking about. Get diverted to service department. Get told that I don't have a dealership and I can't get parts as a result. Tell them to get fucked. Find a fucking transformer that'll work. Oh, wrong way. Order the connectors. Find out it doesn't fit my crimp gun. Order a new crimp worth $300. Make $20 on the job. Generally how it goes. Drop the transformer. Just go put this on the office desk because it's got a number attached to one of the plates. Just hide. Not good. Then I get hangry. I don't really want to eat on stream because then you have to hear me chewing. Alright, what's next? didn't do videos the rest of that Genelec, did I? Yeah, I'll do it if I go ahead, otherwise I'll just trash the footage. Time to change batteries, yeah. Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day over there. St. Patrick's night. Are you all pissed? You might see we have meetings about meetings that should have been an email. Yeah. I don't think anything ships here from Russia at the moment because of embargoes. Like customs, if you try and ship something and somehow does make it over here, customs will just destroy it on you and then charge you for the privilege of having it destroyed. So what do we got now? Legends. Just going to go to my live view so I can see what I'm filming. Randall RD100 metal machine. So what was the story with this? I don't reckon I did a job sheet on this. I think he said it got really hot, drew excessive current, or you know, maybe red plated. It's really dirty, like really dirty. Do we do a video on this? Yeah, I think so. G'day champions. Here we've got a Randall R100 metal machine head. All tube amplifier. Diablo, lots of satanic references, which is cool. I don't mind that, me. Piss off the Christians. Randall RD100, so 100 watt head. Owner just purchased this and tried it out, and he said it got really hot. I think he said excessive hum, and he said it just needs a good clean and service as well, and he wants me to go over it. He buys a lot of second-hand stuff and then just gets me to check it over, if not do some improvements, just to start with a baseline of goodness, and then sometimes he hangs on to them for a bit, other times he sells them on, but he sort of does them up and then sells them on, finds them cheap, sits on eBay looking for nice deals, and eventually snags one for a good price and then brings it here to make it be as good as it could be. So that's what I plan to do. So just a look at the rear, all your typical connectors, just having it gaze inside. Oh man, it looks like there's almost no getter flash left on those. Just looking through under those retainers, and you can already see there's tons of dirt on everything. So I think there's going to be a lot of cleaning up before we even get to testing. Yeah, I think he, I'm not sure what the deal is. I think he sort of thinks of it like renting an amp, I guess. So you get to try out all these amps. People do it with cameras too. They buy the camera and use it for a bit. Just get to know it, and then they might hang on to it for a bit, and then they'll try something else. That's a pretty cool way of doing things. With a bunch of cool, and yeah. Should have brought my floor tripod. It's just a couple of screws in the rear panel here. It's just like an expanded mesh, powder coated. sort of a double-sided tape there, so it's trying to stick to it. There we go. Watch not to cut yourself on the edge of that stuff. It's pretty sharp where they've cut it in the guillotine. Where's my little block? There it is. Alright, 2 o'clock. Time to close the shop. Alrighty then. Alright, so lots of cobwebs. Looks like the valve's got almost no getter left. Getter flash. You can see right through the tops of them there. If Panny Boy wants to focus, yep, there we go, we'll go manual. Lots of spider webs, lots of dust and dirt. So it's pretty common for amps that have a top vent in the top of the cab for stuff to collect in that area, but this is all through it, so this has never been cleaned, I reckon, since the day it was made. It's probably been stored in garages, which is a bad one, because old garages were built cheap back in the day. They were like an afterthought for the house, and they cut a lot of corners off, and they were built by the owner of the house, who wasn't necessarily a certified builder. So things like tiled roofs with no sarking, so all the dust from the wind and the leaves and shit from the trees comes in under the tiles. So yeah, if you're going to store stuff in a garage, box it up, seal it up, and put some desiccant packs in there with it as well, some large ones, and they're not too cheap when they're the large satchel ones. They cost a little bit, but it's worthwhile doing because it'll protect your gear if it's in storage for the long term. Alright, so you heard the man. It's pretty mank. You can't see shit. But yeah, look there. Look there. It's really dusty and cobwebby. What's a wheat bix? How to say you're not Australian without saying you're not Australian. So looking at the bottom, looking at its bottom, got 4 screws, which should come out. I don't think there's any living spiders in it, but you never know. Breakfast cereal that resembles a block of compressed chipboard. Yes, it does. But Americans don't even know what chipboard is, because I don't think they even get it over there. It's OSB, Oriented Strand Board. Oh no, he knows what it is. You got the outback in there, Brad. Yeah, the content of the amp. Alright, better catch up on the chat. Wandering in after Tone Talk. Oh, who was on Tone Talk? I remember thinking, shit, I should watch that. Oh, that was Andy. That was Andy Fuchs. Shit, I should have watched that. I like Andy. I have a chat with him every now and then. I wanted to bring his Fuchs amps in here, but I've got no bloody money. I want to get his Mantis 50 head. I want to be his Australian brand ambassador. But then I looked into what's involved in importing stuff. Like, I think, and it's hard to get definitive information, but when you import a electrical product for sale to the general public, I'm pretty sure you're responsible as the importer for certification. So you've literally got to bring one of these in, spend like $40,000 getting it certified, and if there's anything wrong, like they destroy it, and then you've got to order another one and get it changed, which is out of my control because I don't manufacture them. And then you've got to spend another 40 grand getting that one certified, and if that fails, you could be $500,000 in the hole just trying to bring an amp head in and sell it to the public. Who pays for that? So I don't know. It's hard to get definitive information out of the government because they don't want to give you clear guidelines. They want to keep it vague, so then they've got grounds to fine you if you do something. So it's like they intentionally obfuscate the process. You missed the part whenever Brad calls anyone a champion, you drink a Wheat Bix. Good luck with that. You'll choke on it. Yeah, I like Andy, he's a legend. Still got a full head of hair too, the bastard. It's twice my age. Maybe not twice. I might get offended if he hears that. Oh yeah. Here we go. Unstick. I don't think this has ever been out of its cab. What the hell is holding on to that? Ah, just pure spite is holding on to that. Oh, yeah. Put the cab over here and bring the chassis over. Oh, come on. I'm not in the mood for this. Yummy. Get a load of it. Focus, you fuck. There you go. Alright, isn't that delicious? So, suffice to say, she needs a little bit of a clean. And possibly a new set of valves. It's just another view straight from the top. It's all over the transformers. So all the valves have to come out, get a good clean. I'm not even going to turn this thing on in this state. So we're going to have to give it a clean first. And inspect the bottom. Inspect its bottom. God, I'm a 12-year-old boy. I kind of want to wear gloves for this. Man, I was in, played a ton of frat parties. Is that what a drunk asshole looks like? Nah. Who's a drunk asshole? Hang on, I've got to go back. Generally, one is beer 30. Green beer Scott. Nah, I've been sober for 17ish years. Good man, I quit in the late 80s. God, quitters. Coffee for me. Yeah, I don't even have coffee here. Yeah, I decided I haven't had enough when I was just casually vomiting. What, like, you'd have one drink and you'd vomit? Or you're just randomly vomiting? Or you got so pissed that you just casually vomit and then go back on the piss? Yeah, that's bad. I do know some people that do that too. Andy Fuchs, yeah, when I watch Moon Boy, Wheat Bix in every episode. Steve Fryette was in the chat. Andy O. Fuxo. What? You don't look a day older than 32, Brad. I'm 38. Hey all, g'day John, how you going? That is a crusty POS. Well, under a lot of crust is a bit of gold, so you know. You got to dig through the dirt to find the gold. There's an aneurysm in there somewhere. Anagram? No. Analogy. Hazmat suit time, yep. Archaeology project, yep. Some guys are born with good looks, great sense of humour, loads of personality, and some guys are born with hair. Yeah, you got to make up for it, eh? Looks like a biohazard waiting to happen. It's already happened, Joe. No, I'd be drunk and walk down the street, puke and go get food like nothing happened. Yeah, that's not good. That is no good. Yeah. I had like, I don't know, 4 beers or something yesterday for St. Patrick's Day, so that was it. Oh god, it's such a chore to film stuff sometimes, eh? How am I gonna do this without the camera, without the computer in the background? There we go. You guys can't see shit. Zoom in. Up. Alright, so let's take the valves out, known as tubes, around half the planet. I call them valves, because that's the UK word for it. And we're closer to UK than the States. Well, that was a big happy submarine deal, so that's something. I want a submarine. I want it now. Alright, we've got rubies here. I just cleaned the writing off. Whoops. Yeah, not much getter there, eh? I don't reckon they came with... I don't think they came with that little getter. The getter's gone got some. So there's a bit less there than stock, I believe. Anyway, carry on. They might still function fine. Someone posted, one of my colleagues posted the other day, they had a set of, I think it was General Electric 6L6s, new old stock, and they didn't have any getter. It looked like they didn't even have the getter, like the ring, the getter itself. Not sure what the deal is there. I'm not old school enough to know of valves that didn't have getters. Maybe they're meant to be used in space where there is no oxygen anyway. But they don't just get the last of the vacuum. They absorb any off gas that the elements might give off when valves heat up. So they've got more job than just getting rid of the last of the oxygen in the valve envelope. Let's take the retainers off so I can get in there with a vacuum brush and proper vacuum it. I think I took a bench fee for this. If I didn't, I should have. It's going to be an hour just to clean the thing. The thing. You must have been born in Bundy then, Scott. Bundaberg is a town known for its sugarcane industry, and they also use that sugarcane, or in my opinion the leftovers of, to make rum, and it consistently wins the worst rum in the world award every year, I think. People can compare it to like Caribbean rum and they're like, what the hell is this shit? It's terrible rum. And People in Queensland love it, can't get enough of it, and they're drunkards, but we love them. I'm old, but hang on, wait, scroll. Just drank a lot back in the day. Party hardy, rock and roll, yeah. But I'm old, I can have a beer. One. Man's got to know his limitations. Put a little Baileys in my coffee at the holidays. Baileys. Old ones didn't have getters. Oh, okay. Like really old ones. Before they sussed it out. You know more than me. Speaking of, yeah, I saw that. Tube Depot just got a ton of new old stock General Electric 6L6 small bottle. They want $150 a freaking tube. Simple answer to that, don't buy them. Some dickhead will, but just don't be that dickhead. Speaking, hang on, love the snake skin dust pattern from the expanded metal, yeah. There's a guy called Holdfast Guitars here in Australia. I refer people to him for refinishing. He just did a snakeskin finish on a guitar. Fuck, it looked good. See if I can find it. Holdfast Guitars. I think it was on his Facebook. See if I can just send you the link if you're a Facey user. He does some amazing work. You should, there it is. You should jump on and look at all his other stuff and give him a like and a follow and all that stuff. Yeah, check this one out. I think he said he did it with some netting. He got the pattern with some netting. There we go. I mean, I'd love a match set for my basement. No, just get Tube Amp Doctor. Red bass. See, the thing is that the new old stock, who knows what's happened to them over the years. They could have been thrown around in a box. They could have been shipped all over the country fucking 20 times. You buy them, you spend $300 on a pair. Are they even matched? Probably not. Might be. I don't know. But do they rattle? Like the biggest thing with old valves is because they've been thrown around everywhere. See this mica washer? It's got the little fingers that hold onto the glass and center it. That allows it to be centered in the glass but still allows for glass variance. See down there, that one's got a couple of fingers squashed as you push it in. That's normal. But what happens, you get it knocked around lots, those little fingers get more and more dented a little bit each time. It cops a bit of shock. And now the whole element's rattling around in there and it sounds like arse. And that can manifest itself as microphonics, just audio rattling from the actual valve body itself. Like when you're sitting on a note in a combo, you can hear it going just acoustically from the back of the cab, or it can manifest itself as that signal, that sound coming through the speaker, or both. It can feed back. And it can also just weaken the tube because now that whole element's rattling around inside, resonating. So then you start doing things like cracking spot welds and having a screen short, for example. So yeah, fuck new old stock. That's my opinion. Can't warranty that shit. 100 years old. NOS fanboys. Fanboy. Zoom that out. Put this over here, put the camera here. I'll do a time lapse. Time lapse of a vacuuming. Wouldn't that be fantastic? People will love it. More power! brush. Alright, so it's clean enough to touch it now at least. I didn't even want to touch it before, but it's a powder coat. It's pretty much untouched under that, so we'll give it a bit of a clean with a little bit of diluted detergent, and it should come up pretty much like new. Not a lot can be done about the rusting on the transformer laminates, but it doesn't matter either. Those bell housings should clean up well with a little bit of just slightly soapy water. I get some of this stuff on a wet rag, just like one spray of it, and just rub that in, and then a dry rag afterwards to clean it off, dry it off. I mean, fucking hell. That'll go on the blooper reel. I wanted to do a blooper reel at Christmas time every year, with all the dumb shit that I say and edit it all together. Okay. Alright, I'll see what's going on here. Empty shop back and compress, and that's how you make wheat bix. Yep, pretty much. Victor came up with the process. Had a few packing peanuts. Shredded wheat in the States, yeah. Anal destroyer. What? Do you Aussies have grape nut cereal? It's like aquarium gravel. No, we don't. Well, you gotta let it soak or something for... Anyway. Alrighty then. Alright, so inside the chassis is a different story. It's very, very clean. So that's good to see. Reasonably logical layout. We've got a separate board for the power supply and output valves. They are PCB mounted, but you know, don't hold that against them. If it's mounted correctly, it's not a problem. You've got a separate board across the back for all the jacks, all the I/O. There is a little microcontroller down there, H50, H050, and that's your MIDI connector. MIDI? Foot switch connector, sorry. I thought it might have been MIDI control because I saw that clock. So that's your clock generator, that's a microcontroller with the label on there showing the program, and that's your foot switch. So that would do all your channel switching brain boxery. And then your preamp at the front, and your novel valves, yes that's a word, and the looks like a regulator down there. And there is some bipolar regulation here as well. You can just tell from the chips and their local filtering. Now we've got a big chunky fuse there for the heater fusing. And then we've got what appear to be cathode fuses, because pin 1 and 8 there, it goes straight to that pin, so that's cathode connection of those two valves. And then you've got another one there for those two valves. The other one hiding behind that cable loom. Wait a minute, that's a phase inverter. Oh fuck, I'm smart. Let's try that again. Let's what happens when you're assessing shit in real time, eh? Talking while you're figuring it out. So down here we've got our heater fuse. That's the big chunky bugger. You can see that's powering the heaters it's connected. Fuck. This is why I hate doing videos. Calm blue ocean. Oh, that's why. It's one of the fake ones. So I bought second-hand cameras. And they always come with one Panasonic battery and then all these off-brands because everyone's a fucking cheap ass. And they're shit. They last about 5 minutes. So I think these can go in the e-waste and I'll get some actual Panasonic ones which will cost an actual $80 instead of $8. But they last for ages. Another battery. I just feel lighter too. It's just less battery shmoo in there. Alright, let's try again. Those report directly back to China. What the fuck would China care what I'm doing? I'm gluten intolerant. Eating shredded wheat is like a roto-rooter. What's a roto-rooter? Looks like they got a deal on zip ties. Yeah. Scott, I have friends with that. Torture to find food without. There's gluten-free food everywhere. I'm allergic to chlorophyll too. What? Really? What the fuck? That sucks. My ex-wife did lacing like that on the shuttle components. Really? Wow. Yeah, the waxed, what do you call it? The waxed thread? Anyway, where was I? Third attempt. Fuck. Alright. I'm going to get rid of this stand because it's pissing me off. Right, so that big chunky fuse there, that's for the heaters. You've got your octal output valves here, 4 of them, then you've got your phase inverter down there on the end. And then you've got 2 cathode fuses, so you can see pin 1 and 8. This, I haven't looked at the schematic yet, I think I've got one, but we can do all this without. You've got pin 1 and 8 bio fuse there, and another fuse there for the other 2 valves. That one is blown, so I think we may have a shorted valve or an overcurrent situation caused by disruption of the bias supply, perhaps. So anyway, let's have a closer look. So, blown cathode fuse. Let's check for voltage. Be a safety Steve. 0.00 volts. No voltage anyway. With the standby switch on too, you must remember to do that. It's got a nick in the cable there. It's probably from when they installed it. Just having a close look at anything, seeing if I can find any burnt resistors or bulgy caps or anything. You've got your bias supply here with a trim pot. Trying to say, sorry, and another one over there. They're doing them in pairs. Want some rework. Nah. That cap has silicon under it, but it's discolored. It's like yellow, and all the other ones it's white. That's just a preamp though, so I don't think that's giving us issues with the output stage. Alright, let's check the fuses. The fuse. It's good, and it is rated 3.15, and that is correct. Time delay 3.15. Can't get it back in. See you, Alan. Rock on, brother. Let's check the other fuse. Cathode fuse, it's good. I like checking all the fuses with the continuity tester because sometimes they look okay and they're not. Just like on that bag cat. And that one's definitely open. Let's say the fuse rating. This writing's really hard to read. F500L. So that's a fast blow 500 milliamp. Another one of them, 2AG. He doesn't mind a fast blow. Well, a slow blow can be good too, depending on the application. There we are. We've got some DigiKey labels here. 500 fast blow. Mum's a fast blower. Alright, let's put those valves in. And what I might do is monitor the current on either side while we're bringing it up and see if one of the sides running away on us. Save us throwing fuses at it, even though, you know, Dad's retired now, and being a rich retiree, he can afford all the fuses in the world, so he just powers it on. I'm just a lowly non-homeowner, so I like to save my fuses. Oh, damn, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. I'm Brad. Oh, I think we've got evidence of arc damage. Something burning on the preamp. Probably not going to be able to see this, but come on, panty boy, you can focus. Yeah, see down there? Yeah, you can see that clearly. My camera prowess. See that? Something burnt there, burnt there. Doesn't seem to be arcing from something to something, so it might have just been shmoo. Dropped in from the top. Give that a bit of a brush and blast with compressed air, a bit of a clean with alcohol, see if there's anything under it. Yeah. Air. Normally when there's an arc between two positions on a board, well, normally when there's an arc, I should rephrase that, when there's an arc, it's between two positions on the board of opposite, or like, you know, of a large potential difference, whereas in this case it looks like it's just in plastic, so I think it was just a bit of burnt shit. All the ceramics look okay with no evidence of arcing. Put the original valves back in. We'll see if the bias supply has gone off, or if one of these is shorted. You know what would help? If I looked up the customer report. I'm getting messages from everyone. Come on, internet. Oh, it's hopeless when I'm streaming. You can't do anything else on the computer. Huh. Customer of mine just sent a message. Never thought of this. Hi Brad, I have a Marshall JVM with the foot switch as pictured below. Each channel has 3 gain stages indicated by green, amber and red LEDs. My problem is that I'm colorblind and it's very difficult for me to tell these apart. Do you think it's possible to replace it with at least 1 or 2 different colors like a blue? Oh, sure can. I'll message you about that later if you're watching, but that's definitely doable. Come on, internet. See you, Bart. Yeah, it's getting late for everyone over there. I should probably call it here and go and get something to eat before I get hangry. What'll I have for lunch? I feel like nachos. Mad Mex nachos. I prefer Mad Mex's nachos, and I prefer Guzman and Gomez burritos. Oh, internet's useless. Let's fire this thing up and blow it up. Nachos rule. Colour blindness is common. They really should support it more. Yeah, I've got lots of colourblind friends. Quinny, Steph, if you're watching, I know you're not because you've got a life, not like you legends. You're both colourblind. There's different types of colourblindness too. Lyle's colourblind. I don't know how many of you knew that. Lyle Caldwell from Psionic Audio. Not sure what type of colour blindness he has, but he is. I'm short-sighted, but I'm not colourblind. Short-sighted works perfect for me because I can see everything close up perfectly still. And if it's that far away, I don't have to worry about it, do I? Night driving's not that fun. Reading street signs, trying to find... Before I was in the shop and before I was too busy, I was sort of hunting for work. And I'd often do things like pick up and drop off amps to people's houses after hours. Don't do that anymore. So yeah, I'd be driving around looking for this house address, and it's always some weird ass house that's got some weird ass obscure number or no street number at all. I think I love it when people, you got to find an address, right? And like they don't tell you, oh, our house doesn't have a fucking street number anywhere. It's like, thanks for that. They're just oblivious to the fact that their house doesn't have a street number. It's like, anyway. She's a good multimeter. Are you talking about the colour blindness thing, Eric? Just use a multimeter. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Can't resist the colour codes. Yeah, exactly. Sucks because what if an amp deviates from the schematic? How will you know? Yeah, well, you've got to measure it. Yeah, that's what you're referring to. $2,300 amp with board mounted sockets. Yeah, fucking oath. Look at the messes. They're $5,000 amps with board mounted sockets. If the resistor is toast though, that doesn't work. Yeah, but you know, it's circuit segments. You know what they are. Droppers and just, you know. But I've got so many schematics. I'll find a schematic for anything. I've got millions of them. I'm like a hoarder. I throw out everything. So my workshop's really neat and tidy. Has to be, because it's a sign of professionalism. But I'm a schematic hoarder. So I've got millions of schematics. It's great. Don't ask me how I got them, because I won't tell you. It's called the internet. I looked into my first and last mess at 550, never again. Yeah, once you realise the Emperor's got no clothes and a tiny, tiny penis, you'll never buy a messer again. Someone trying to come in the door. Alright, here goes nothing. So let's variac it again. Sorry, Dad. Preemptively apologise for my lack of, what's the word? My lack of brevity? No. False bravado. Yes. Wait till you get one of those new Mark 7s. What happened to Mark 6? That's what I want to know. Did they just fuck it completely and throw it in the bin? Were messes ever good? In the late 90s and early 2000s, I remember that being a lot of people's Grail amps. That's just because they advertised lots. No, messes were never good. They sound like... There's some that sound okay. Most of them sound like arse. And they're just built really poorly by idiots. Q flaming. I don't care. Flame me all day. I don't give a shit. I am telling you stuff to stop you from wasting money. So if you get angry at that, well, can't help you, mate. Go back to your little fantasy land where messes are quality amps. Every tech knows the truth. It's not just me. It's not me being a hater. You ask any tech what they think about messes, they all have the same answer. Any respectable tech anyway. I just remember a Carlos Santana playing them. Yeah, well, that was the Mark 1. I just had a Carlos Santana signature King Snake here, and it's just built like a Mark series, really. It was a $8,000 amp. They just throw an arbitrary figure at the wall and see if anyone buys it, and they always do. So they're fucking loaded, and they can afford fantastic marketing for the next pile of shit that they release. Scott Brockway, I bet Mesa Techs will have a hard time, and then they just passed over the 6 name because they thought they surpassed the 5 by so much. Really, is that what happened, Eric? Oh fuck. Even their naming of their amps is wanky. Jesus. I think the Mark IV is the John Petrucci, really. Have you worked on a Rev amp yet? I did. I think it was something minor, like a preamp valve. That was a while back though. I can't remember which model. Santana probably had a tractor trailer full of free spares. Well, I'm hearing from some of my mates in the States that Mesa aren't. This is all just, it's complete hearsay, but I'm hearing that Mesa aren't even taking their own amps to repair anymore. They're sending them all to other techs because they can't make money repairing them because they're so impractically built for that they make repair so difficult and time consuming. I mean, they're repairable, sure, but you've often got to desolder literally 100 connections and resolder them, and that's just labor intensive. My experience with messes is they turn into flames. Yeah, it's funny, there's another guy named Joe, with the last name starting with B, who had that very experience and brought his messes here. I don't think that's you, Joby1 Kenobi. Yeah, several of his amps are in my videos from having literally caught on fire. I just got a Ghost Horse Epiphone. It's just as good as any Gibson Explorer I've ever played. I'm super happy with it. Yes, I had an Epiphone, Japanese Epiphone Les Paul I just finished. I can't show you because he didn't pick it up. Yeah, it's still here. Nah, I couldn't be asked getting it. But yeah, it was better than a Gibson, an Epiphone. That's pretty lame. This Edwards Les Paul. It's very nice. And it's better than a Gibson. It's got a really nice top. It's the Relic model, so it's got dents and shit strategically placed. But it's really cool. And just doing a pick-up replacement on that for him. He's upgrading it. Nice timber. Well thought out. Better quality timber than a lot of the Gibsons are used. The grain there, the grain's actually that way instead of like this, like a lot of the Gibsons I get that snap really easy. They actually select their timber rather than Gibson just puts it in, cuts it however it's sitting. Right, I can empathise that the poor bastard is silly enough to buy a Messer in the first place. He's a big fan of Messer, but he was happy for me to go out of my way to make it reliable. Some Messers you can make reliable, other ones you sort of can't. How old is the Edwards? I don't know. They call it SAXX. Yeah, Edwards guitars are cool. Is there a reason they're cramming more components in a standard head size cabinet rather than making the cabinet larger? That's marketing, and it's probably built to sit neatly on top of their 2x12, vertical 2x12, I dare say. And if they made it wider, you wouldn't be able to sit it on the 2x12. And marketing departments decided people don't want quads anymore, they want 2x12s, which is true. But now your heads need to be narrower to suit, I guess. My Kramer is poly, it's the best guitar I've ever played, period. Yeah, Kramers are nice. I worked in a shop for 17 years and touched thousands of guitars. Fuck yeah. Brad from the future, or maybe his from the other side of the international date line. You decide. Well, it's 2:49 PM on the 18th of March 2023, if that means anything to you. Hey Brad, in a bit of a pyramid head. That's out of Silent Hill, yeah? I'm in a bit of a predicament. Do you know any ways to tell the difference between an instrument cable and a speaker cable on the fly? Yeah, you just undo the end, mate. So instrument cable's coaxial, speaker cable is not. Here's a speaker cable. There's no shield, it's just two wires and a figure eight. See that? Usually it can be blue and orange, or red and blue, or black and white. Depends on the brand. But there's no coaxial there. It's just two wires with internal insulation and an external jacket. Whereas when you've got a guitar lead, here's one I prepared earlier. Kinnair and Amphenol. So you got the center there. That's the center conductor. Oh God, focus you asshole. And then there's a shield. You can see the sheath down there, soldered. That's peeled back and parted. And that's coaxial cable. If you cut a section of it, where's a bit lying around? Oh, here we go. It's almost like I planned this. So here's the end after cutting and stripping back a little bit. You see it's got the inner conductor there, and then it's got like a sheath around it. That's what it looks like from the end. Coaxial, so they share the same axis. It's literally what it means. When you strip a bit back, looks like that. This is nice cable. This is Kinnair GS6 or Kinnair, however the fuck you say it, and that is a really nice cable, and it's my preferred cable, made in Japan. All the best stuff's made in Japan, doc. GS6. It's good stuff. And that's the only cable I use at the moment. There are other brands that are equally as good. Megami is one of them. I forget the number. Oh, there you go, Joy Buzzer, Megami, yeah, that's right. Right, let's put a speaker into this thing in the unlikely case that it makes sound without something going wrong. 16 ohm. They don't braid the outer shield, so it's gapless. Yeah, Kinnair or Canary, whatever, they use like a conductive plastic sheath as well, so it's gapless as well. But you've got to peel that back, otherwise it can short to ground, like 100 ohm resistor to ground. And lots of people learn that the hard way. They make 20 cables and realise they're all attenuators as well. When I was broke, I tried using leftover RG59 from instrument cable. It was noisy as shit. It sounded like a bad tube. Yeah, that's the triboelectric effect. I use RG for signal supply. It's fine. Does the job. Depends on what type it is. So this is a test lead. It's designed for testing, so it's flexible. The install stuff is just foil, and as the foil changes its arrangement, it will work a little bit like a microphone. Use coaxial for speaker cable, or a twisted pair for an unbalanced input, but I do not recommend it. Yeah. Capacitance of the coax will strip highs, not at that impedance it won't, and the lack of a shield will make a noisy input. Yes. The biggest issue with using coaxial for speaker cable is it can be, well, basically it's not rated for the current, so you could be literally heating the cable up, and a lot of losses along that line. So for a high impedance line it doesn't matter, but for low impedance you want very low resistance, or you'll lose energy in the cable and center conductor will melt. Yeah, there you go, Scotty. Especially if you're talking bass amps, that kind of thing, because the center conductor in coax is often like 28 AWG or something, so it can't handle it. It's just not good practice either. Could cause issues with amps that don't like driving capacitive loads if you've got a long run as well. What are we doing? Set everything at 12 o'clock. Get the meters out. Sorry, I'm a bit scattered today. I'm just not with it. I need to probably heed that warning and have it have a day of just chilling out. Right, where's the plate connections? Yellow and brown and red. Just pull those connectors up a little bit. Get access to that spade connector. So I'm just going to bail and get some nachos. Yeah, that's the plan. I've got to at least assess 2 jobs today though. I've got so much work on, but it's just starting to hit the wall a bit. I've got to be careful. No. Oh, I've got a fiberglass fibre sticking into my finger there. Someone could use a wheat bix. Yeah. Let's not forget the awesome that is directional instrument cables. Yeah, cryogenically activated silver cables. Yeah, silver is superior. Stupid audiophile nonsense. They're gonna keep going. They've got mental illnesses and they're trying to fix them by buying expensive stuff that no one gives a flying fuck about. So you got to feel sorry for them, sort of. Oh, nice little ball of solder rolled off there. 8.4 ohms. 8.4 ohms on both sides of a resistor. What? That's a 20k resistor. Why am I reading 8.4 ohms on both sides? .6 ohms. What? That's something. Surely wouldn't be a low power setting on this thing because it's a metal machine. They don't care about low power outputs. If you're going to apply logic, at least be consistent about it. Right, let's try and find a schematic of this thing. I want to know what that resistor is without having to undo that loom. Can't really see what wire goes where. Randall! It's one of the ones that no schematic exists for, maybe. RD1. Is RD? Yeah, RD100. RB, RG, RM. Alright, of course the RD100 is the one I don't have anything for. RB, RG. Maybe they call it Diablo or something. funny how there's so many different R series, but the RDs just don't exist. Someone want to find me an RD 100 schematic? You can always buy Chinese cables. They are aluminium. Yeah, aluminium's not a good choice. It just breaks. There's some massive RF coax for the ham radio antennas. The center conductor is corrugated copper tube of copper. It's RF, so the skin effect over 4 megahertz, thick solid copper wire is a waste. Yeah, nothing conducts in the center of the wire, so no point having a copper there. You may as well just make it a hollow tube. Well, that is correct, as Chris Farley would say. Right, so why is that resistor reading 0 ohms? Where does it go? That goes, is that ground? What? What? That goes to the speaker ground terminal, so that's ground on one side. On the other side, what? 25 watt 20k. Wait a minute. That's across the speaker when nothing's plugged in. So that's reading the output transformer secondary. So if I unplug that, blue and green, which is actually purple and green, now it's 20k. Why would you want 20k in place of the speaker? What's that going to do? May as well not be there. So when you unplug the speaker output goes to a 20k load, but that would still develop quite a bit of voltage across it. It must be like a flyback mitigation, but you'd think there'd still be quite a bit of voltage allowed to develop there. There's a schematic on EL34 World. Ooh, okay. Nah, not the RD 100. Get the lead out. Yeah, boy. Is that a Led Zeppelin or a Aerosmith reference? Or both? Whew. Right, let's give it some juice. Some dewies, and see what happens. Have a meter. Just put these across the output transformer primary. Do a quick bias measurement while we're there. We're feeling fancy. That's that one, yellow. Get in my belly. I think it means get the light emitting diode out. Oh, you fucker. Just trying to semi-undo you, not all the way. Alright, what resistance are we reading on the output tranny? Need to pop from the speaker. Ooh, okay. That's got something funny going on. Voltage on it, perhaps. I heard it pop, so that's our connections. Measured 0.00 volts there though. Why would it have voltage across that? Ooh, I hope the output tranny's good. .2 meg, really? Okay, what's going on? Have I got the wrong connectors? It's behind a paywall. Ugh. Yeah, don't give your computer herpes on my account, mate. That's out. Oh, okay, so now I'm on the wrong connector. Hearing the pop there. This is interesting. Ah, that's the supply over there. Right, how do I get to that? It's hidden in that city of capacitors. Annoying. I know what I'll do. I'll put a bit of bus wire poking out of that connector. That'll do it. Yeah, lateral thinking. Vertical thinking. I don't know. .4 ohms, that's more like it. I was on the wrong connector. See a red connector and got all excited. Is that the Diablo? Yes, yeah, I believe that's what it is. It doesn't say it on the logo, but it says it's under the presence control. Diablo, it's a strange place to put a label. Diablo all tube amplifier. It's not all tube, is it? It's got diodes and it's got it's got bloody op amps, for fuck's sake. It's got transistors all through it. It's not all tube, you wankers. Liars. I didn't know people still bought Randalls. Thought they were in the same boat as BC Rich in terms of relevancy. Yeah, but people love BC Rich too. My real name would cause confusion around these parts. Oh, come on, you're humorous. What's your real name? This one on TDPRI. How much stock do you have in Fluke these days? None. I'm waiting for a sponsorship. Schematic is a mini Diablo. Yeah, I had a 40 watt one. 40, I think it was 40 watt as well. Not long ago. Alright, let's blow this thing up. Power's on, variac on. 5 watts, 6 watts, 7 watts, 8, 10, 11, 12. See what the voltage is doing. Resistance mode. I've got 126 volts there on the plates already. On the screen, sorry. Plates as well. 110 on the preamp plates. Not drawing excessive current, so that's promising. Keep going. Give it a signal. Relays probably haven't clicked to where they're supposed to be yet. Got LEDs. It's 240 volts, but 110, the LEDs are all lighting like normal brightness. We're starting to conduct. Oh, we're jumping around a bit on one side there, and the other side's not conducting yet. 33 watts. 0.2, it might be alright, it's just at the very low end. Got signal. Channel switching is working because it's solid state relays. Or, oh, sorry, optocouplers, HF, what are they? H11F, keep going to call them HF11. Pretty heavy imbalance there. Drawing 64 watts from the wall. But it is adjustable with difficulty. Is it running away? Drawing 89 watts. It's a 100 watt amp, so you'd expect it to be drawing about 120-ish, 110, something like that, at full voltage. Let's turn that down a bit, that's starting to piss me off. So we're drawing 110 watts now, and we're almost at 240 volts. So I'd be happy to plug that in at full voltage now. I don't think we've got a short. Let's just say I feel Lyle's pain on the Lyle Kyle debacle here. What the hell? How do people get Kyle from Lyle? I just don't. It's like someone calling me Brett instead of Brad. It's like, it's a different name. I'm just going to ignore you and walk away. When measuring voltage drops on a live amp like this, do you do it well in standby or power? Do you mean, do I take the measurements in play mode? Or you can't take them in standby because in most amplifiers, in most amplifiers the output stage isn't conducting in standby. Some of them they are, and they just mute somewhere along the line, like they short the plates of the phase inverter together and stuff. Or Black Stars take it into cutoff with massively negative bias voltage. But yeah, you've got to measure it while it's in play mode because you need the output stage to be conducting. Alright, let's plug straight in. Sorry Dad, I shouldn't have used the variac, that was too safe. I just want to get a screwdriver ready to adjust those. If you're going to design an amp like this, put a hole where the trim pots are so you can get through with the resistor from the top side. That's really frustrating when it's like this. It means you've got to work with it up on its end or something and your leads fall off and ugh. Or you've got to try and adjust the thing without being able to look at it with a short little stubby screwdriver or something that'll fit under the chassis. That's just me bitching again. Alright, got my hand on one of them. to the lower one, then we'll take a measurement and go from there. Alright, let's do that. Power on, live amp. Check this thing out. Got a Kirk Hammett KH2 ESP custom shop. Ooh, nice. Look at the neck. Look at that figuring. Beautiful. Just in for a quick fret hone, but otherwise okay. I'd love to buy one of them and then put like 64s on it and tune it down to like B. Which he never did. It'd be funny. Then play just sludge doom on it. It'd be funny. All right, I'm on the variable resistor here. I've got my arm around the amp, so it's got me by the balls. Turn it on. A bit of a peak there. Am I going the right way? Am I even on the trim plot? Now I am. Not turning. Oop, I had something pop then. What was that? $13 watts. Can't turn it. I need to look at these things. I'll get a mirror. That's what I'll do. So I panicked there for a sec, because I saw a lot of glowing red down the bottom, and then I remembered that that strip down in the middle is LEDs to make it look evil and badass. Virtually every guitar has a built-in wah pedal. Usually it's one of the knobs that says tone. Not really, because that's a what am I trying to say? Low pass filter, not a band pass, adjustable band pass filter. So you're wrong. More Phillips. Alright, is that gonna work? Yes, I thought that move. That's going up. That's going down. 6. So as I'm adjusting this one, the other side's going with it. So we've got interaction there in this circuit. And that's minimum. That's affecting the other side as well. What? We've got some instability here. Oh, I popped again. I don't like that. It's freaking me out. I don't like this interaction between the two sides. Oh, phase inverter. Why is this side adjusting that side? Alright, let's set it to about 0.5 volt. And then we'll figure out what the hell's going on. Free the tone lock. Only partly wrong. You can play sludge on a single coil Strat if you really wanted to. A lot of acid bath on a Jag. I play a lot of acid bath on a Jag. Check out Baroness. They play not really sludge, but that sort of in that vein on like Telecasters and Jazzmasters and Strats with all single coil. It's heavy as. Alright, so everything's pretty cool, just so we can figure out what the hell's going on. Still got signal there. We've got a strange popping that's happening periodically. See if I can give you some speaker there so you can hear it. Just going to move everything around a bit. Almost sounded like arcing, but the currents didn't move, so I think we might have a mechanically induced shorted 6L6 perhaps. Yep. It's tapping the 6L6. And that's on the side that had the blown cathode fuse. Yeah, I think that 6L6 is intermittent. It's going to cost me another fuse. Oh, that went up a little bit then. Yep, see that pop? Watch this meter down here to the right. Oh, you can't see it because it's washed out, for fuck's sake. Alright, the meter on the right is these two valves. I'm flicking the furthest right valve. You can hear the popping. And a second ago, you can see that meter go up when it popped. So I think that valve's on the way out, but they all look very tired as we showed earlier. It's technically still working, but when you're playing 100 watts full volume, once you pop you can't stop. Yeah. See that go up on the bar graph there for a minute? I'm not tapping it very hard, it may sound like it, but yeah. So I think that valve's on the way out. I'm just going to let that soak for a bit, and I might send him a price for a new set of valves, but otherwise it's just really a clean, I think, and this one will be alright. I suppose we should have a playthrough it, eh? Just keep an eye on those meters while we're doing that. I'll tilt them up so I can see them. So we can reach for the standby switch if it runs away. Ah, you fucking piece of shit. Need a new stand for the Fluke because it's got the pissiest little fucking foot mechanism known to man. Can't believe I haven't broken the others yet. Look at how pissy it is. Alrighty, let's turn the speaker down a bit. Oh, it's all deaf in use. And then let's turn my mic off. I went to all the effort of syncing them up last time with your assistance. Oh, still got that undone. So yeah, the reason it's got a microcontroller is because it's got 3 channels. I just realised that. It's got clean game 1 and game 2. I thought that's what the boost button did, went between game 1 and game 2. But whenever you got more than 2 channels, all of a sudden the switching gets more complex, and it's easier to have a microcontroller do it, which is what this little bugger back there is for. Zoom out so you can see the whole thing, eh? Hearing a bit of crackling there. No, that's digital noise. Someone's probably trying to ring me. My phone's up there like an idiot. I'm being a customer. What was the main issue they sent it in with? Getting too hot and sounding fucked. So, yeah, probably ran away on that valve, got too hot, and then blew that cathode fuse and then sounded fucked because it would have been running on one side. Got a little chirpy whistle oscillation there for a second when I changed channels. Need a little chirp. It sounds like a design error to me. These pickups are a bit microphonic. Not the best choice for metal. They do sound good, but they feedback like crazy. Mainly the bridge pickup, the neck pickup's a single coil, so then it just hums. That's the quietest position, but no good for metal. It's eye of the beholder, I guess. It's interesting, it's feeding back to the actual amp. Oh shit, there's a camera up there. Fuck. Isn't that lovely? I'll stop that, that's probably really annoying you. Wasn't that lovely? EML, yes, EML does do the same job and it's fantastic. So get some. So let's go a little bit higher volume on the clean channel, because that will push the output stage a little bit harder. My meters have turned off, that's not good. Bias is still stable. So I'll turn the gain down a bit, all the way. That really punishes the output valves. That's volume and master maxed, gain at midway, and you can see it's really pulsing the output valves very hard. Well, you probably can't see fuck all because you can't see the screen, but I'll show you. Zoom in a little bit so you can read the meters. This is sort of like a torture test for the output valves, so it really pushes them hard and makes it fluctuate very quickly in its power dissipation. So it's a good way to find a shitty valve by doing this. So it seems to be stable, frustratingly, stubbornly stable. Eric, I'm measuring the DC voltage drop across each side of the primary of the output transformer, so that is measuring the anode current of each pair of valves. And if one runs away, you'll see it go off the scale, and I'll run for the standby switch before we do any damage. So what you're hearing there is pretty much 100% output stage distortion. It seems to be behaving itself. So I might call it quits for today. I'll let that one cook on Monday because I've got work to do in the garage at home. Do you reckon I should do a live stream from home? I've got another laptop now. I guess I could. It's just boring though. It's woodwork and me drinking beers in the arvo. But anyway, you've probably got better stuff to do. I'll cook this on Monday and just see what I can get it to do, if anything. And I think he's going to be up for a new set of output valves. We'll check the output power. They sound reasonably healthy, but that one that's fluctuating and popping, that's not a good sign. So yeah, I'd say a new match pot of them is probably in order. And see what he reckons there. He likes doing the job properly and a bit of preventative maintenance to this bloke, so I'd dare say he'd go for that. And I just thought I'd do a live stream for you guys, try and release some more videos, but I haven't got time to edit them or film them at the moment because I'm supposed to be in 6 places at once at any given time. But I'll try and give you what I can while Lyle's being a fancy pants in Florence or wherever he is. So you got something else to watch instead of having to watch cat videos. as funny as they are. So have a good midnight, I guess, for most of you blokes, and enjoy your post St. Patrick's Day hangover tomorrow. And maybe I might do another live stream if I'm feeling lonely in the garage. So take it easy, legends. Thanks for joining us as always, and I'll see you on the bloody next one.